Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Against All Odds in the Long Dark. So, I'm not a superstitious person. This is episode 13 of Against All Odds Season 3. But at the same time, though I'm not superstitious, I am a big believer in the fact that this game has a sick sense of humor. And I know that because it's the 13th episode, and I know that because we got so close to death in the last episode, there's a very good chance that we're not going to make it through this one. But I am, as you can see, picking up a few cattails here already, which is not only giving me food, but it's also giving me tinder. I'm not going to eat it just yet because I'm not actually hungry to the point of losing condition. My focus right now needs to be on getting as many of these things from this area as I can. Hopefully there's a few more. And then it looks like I need to get inside. But before I get inside, I also need to look around and grab some sticks, so I can have a fire. And that fire can give me water. Alright, don't see any others that way. I'm going to wander this way just a little bit. Thankfully, we're not too cold yet. But it looks like a blizzard is definitely setting in, so I'm going to have to get inside quickly. Okay, I'm going to scan for any more cattails before the blizzard gets too strong. There's a few more. Alright, this is going to make our clothes wet too, so that's going to affect my coldness very quickly. Bad weather. So again, game throwing a blizzard at me right when I need to be spending the last few hours of daylight. Okay, good. I'm actually, thirst-wise, I'm not that bad. It's a full-fledged blizzard now, though, so I need to get inside immediately. Hey, there's one more. Don't know how I missed it. We're going to get cold fast. As Jennifer Hale just pointed out. Okay, let's get inside. We're at risk for hypothermia. It's negative 26 degrees, which means hypothermia can set in very quickly. I'm going to try and use all of my possible sprint meter. Stay out of the wind a little bit. And get inside. Okay, this, we're not completely out of wood. We have wood that we can break down in here. Alright, I'm officially starving, so I need to take care of that. We have 5 cattail heads, so that's over 700 calories. Not doing the exact math, but 500. Actually, it's 750 calories, to be exact. So that's enough to get us through the night. And then tomorrow morning we can find some additional stuff. So that will actually allow us to recover some condition overnight, which is quite nice. Whether or not we survive beyond that, who's to say? But what I also need to do is go ahead and break down some of this other stuff that's here. So we're going to break down this, then we're going to break down this. That's going to give us about an hour's worth of fire. Going to break down the chair. It takes 45 minutes. I feel like that would be exhausting. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Alright, we are officially exhausted again. 13% condition and dropping, but... Okay, here's the only crappy thing. We have 17 matches, which is nice. We found a nice box of matches. But, 50 cattail heads. We're great on Tinder. But let's go ahead and, do I have a book that I can light on fire? Just not one that I... I really don't. I can use one of my 3 accelerant, which I'm going to go ahead and do, because I need this fire to start. Because we need water. Period. We actually need a lot of water. Alright, so there's fire. We did get fire starting skill from that, which is great. Now let's see. I can make some herbal tea, first and foremost. So let me go ahead. Do I have water for that? I think I do. Nope, not quite enough. Tell you what, let's put one more piece of wood on the fire, just to make sure we have enough time. And then we're going to melt a whole... Tell you what, let's go all in. Let's melt 0.8 gallons. This is going to really eat away at our fire. We're going to have to put more on in just a second. We're also losing condition while this is happening because we're tired. Also lost a lot of light while that was happening, as you might expect. Alright, but now we're going to boil it. Oh wow, we're actually getting hungry again. I'm surprised by that. So we're definitely going to have to make some tea here. That's going to be one of the only ways that we can survive the night. I was not expecting to get that hungry that quickly. I guess it's Interloper for you. Alright, so first things first, let's go ahead and drink that right now. Get the calories. Let's also go ahead and drink that. Now, let's see. I do have some more wood on me, right? I've got one more piece of reclaimed wood, so there goes my wood. Let's go ahead and... Of course, I still have a table in here that I can break down, so... I know, that's what we're working on. Alright, so we're going to cook a few more cups of tea. And then hopefully make it through the night. The weather will be better in the morning. Recover some condition while we're in such a bad way. We're not going to recover a lot, because we're going to get hungry again in the middle of the night. It's not avoidable. It's unavoidable. Tell you what, can we make one more thing of tea? It's going to be our last tea, but yeah, we can. Need to go all in on surviving this. Alright, we're at 10% condition. Not surprisingly, we're starting to hear the ominous music. Because we're exhausted. I am pushing myself to my limit just to get some food in me right now. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep for 6 hours. We are fully slaked, so beverage-wise, I'm okay. We are going to recover, as I said, a little bit of condition, but at some point during the night, I think we're going to get hungry again. We're probably going to wake up starving. Yep, 29% condition. Not bad, and we're actually not starving yet, which means we have the potential to recover a little bit more. And the blizzard's gone. So if we can get out in the morning and find more cattail stalks, we might just be able to pull this out. Let's see. 3 hours darkness left. Tell you what, sleep for... Man. I don't want to go out in like the very beginning of the morning, but I don't have time to wait. All right, so we're going to be probably right around 30% condition, because what just happened is we went up and then we went back down. Yep, 27%. All right, 13 hours daylight left. We are starving. Looks like the weather is great, or it sounds, I suppose, like the weather is great. The guts are 94% cured. So now I'm going on a real scavenging run, because I've got to get both cattail... Of course. Oh my god, of course. Yeah, this is going to be rough. But I have to do it. I've got to get some more cattail stalks. It's possible I can just grab a few, and then wait this wind out a little bit. Could be a few over here if I get lucky. Of course, it's interloper mode, so the spawning rate of these cattail stalks is pretty low. But hey, there's 3 right here. So let me go ahead and eat those right now while we're standing in the wind. And that way, hunger will no longer be a huge threat. It won't actually be hurting us anymore. Let's eat those. Alright, hunger is no longer reducing our condition. We're going to get cold, though, very soon. It's actually colder right now than it was during the blizzard. But I don't have a choice but to try and stay out here. I actually should have put some stuff down before I came out here because I am encumbered. Actually, one thing I might do, I might actually try and make a break for the houses on the other side rather than trying to return to the office. I think I can actually get all the way across. That way I can keep moving for a bit here. Need to look for wildlife. Let's pick up a few sticks while we're out. Alright, so we're officially hungry again because this game has a sense of humor. I've told you, it's sadistic. Alright, good. Here's some more cattail hits. Alright, we need to get inside fast. Alright, if I get hypothermic, we're going to have a real problem, but we just found cattail nirvana, and this should lift us out of our hunger problem for at least half a day or so. Alright, let's... I'm getting greedy now. We have to get inside. That's priority number 1. So I've got to make it to those cabins. Looks like one of them is standing. No wolves out on the lake. That's refreshing. After the wolves we had to dodge to get here, right? Alright, I really wish I had dropped some stuff.
Starving.
Alright, so I'm not quite starving yet, so my hunger is not hurting my condition. However, my coldness is, and I can no longer run at the moment because I just sprinted myself to death. Didn't really focus on picking up a whole lot of sticks just now. That's another priority that I have to focus on. But there are cattail stalks all around this lake. And another thing I want to mention, I mentioned this in the comments, but I do want to mention it in the series as well. One of the things that just has always captured my love and admiration for this game is the fact that in the last episode, when I was by the dam and I was at 10% health and I needed to make it deeper into the zone, a lot of you may have known this because you played Alone Dart for a long time, but for those of you who don't, there are actually a bunch of cattail stalks right there. If you go, instead of going over the bridge by the dam, if you go down to the water that the bridge is crossing, there are cattail stalks right there. I could have gotten food right outside the dam. So, you know. All right, we're over 1,000 calories again. Not bad. Let's go ahead and drink. We don't have a ton of water, so again, we need to get some wood while we're out here. And then preferably investigate one of the huts and find the heavy hammer. And then maybe we can get the hell out. But before we do that, we need to get kind of enough goods. Oh man, you see what just happened? Oh man, what a windfall. That is beautiful. All right, so let's eat that beef jerky. 350 more calories. And let's go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to go and eat these two while they're high condition. If they were maybe a little bit better, we could hold on to them for a bit. But anyway, what I was saying a moment ago is I didn't grab the cattail stalks from the river because I forgot they were there. And the reason I forgot they were there is I was anxious. And the reason I was anxious is that I was genuinely afraid for my character's life, which is a feeling that the Long Dark can give you that I just think is so impressive. And I've always been amazed. We're at 2,000 calories now. Who'd have thought? Let's go ahead and sleep for... I don't want to waste a lot of daylight. Let's just sleep for 2 hours and see if we can wait this storm out and recover some condition. I'm guessing that's another blizzard. Let's have a look outside. If it's fog... Nope, that's a blizzard. But yeah, the game just does such a great job of creating genuine psychological terror. The kind of psychological terror that makes you make mistakes because you're afraid for your life. And it's really, really impressive. And one of my favorite things, and one of the most addictive things about the Long Dark. Okay, good. Blizzard seems to have blown over. We are at 28% condition. Getting pretty thirsty again. We still have 0.31 gallons of water, so it's not the worst. But I still need more food. I need more cattails. I need more everything. But our meters are officially filling back up again, and we are getting healthier. I won't be really happy until I'm above 50% condition. But, okay, feels like 14 degrees. This is perfect. 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 Holy crap. All right. So now, I'll tell you what. Let's go over here because there's... I don't want to walk away from this before we get too far from it. This is an area where there could be a ton of cattail heads. For obvious reasons. There's just a bunch of vegetation. Or there could be none. Sometimes there are large fields of vegetation like this, but for whatever reason, it's not designated as an area where cattails can spawn. And so you're like, oh, hey, there's probably cattails there, and then there are not. But there are lots of other areas, like the one I was just mentioning, that we can backtrack to. Now that we have a few more calories under our belt. But one of the other things we're here to look for, and I can't forget this. This is our objective. This is what we're here for. Well, let me circle back. Let me make sure that I'm not missing any cattails, because another 150 calories would not hurt. But the main thing we're here for is the heavy hammer. That's why we came to Mystery Lake, because that's where I found it in the first run of Interloper that I played on YouTube. And actually, I want to note this. I've also noted this in the comments, but for those of you watching who maybe haven't read the comment sections of each video, if this is if this is the first one that you're watching, just by sheer circumstances of like time constraints, I actually have never played Interloper except on YouTube. I haven't actually done a solo Interloper playthrough where I've practiced and gotten ready for this. So yeah, there are still some things I'm not very good at. There are some things about the metagame that I am downright irresponsible with because I don't know the mechanics just yet. One of the major things that I learned over just the past few episodes being published is that okay, good. There's a frozen angler. We could use that. One of the major things I learned over the past few episodes being published is that the hacksaw can get deer meat out of a deer carcass at whatever condition you want. You don't have to thaw the deer out. So remember how earlier in the series I just seemed determined to thaw every deer carcass I found? Well, you don't have to do that. And my knowing that is now going to change dramatically how I respond. Okay, no heavy hammer there. Just wanted to triple check. It's going to change dramatically how I respond to situations in Interloper mode. But you are literally watching me learn the hard way all of these different lessons that Interloper teaches you. So just bear that in mind when watching and when commenting, that even though I have spent a lot of time with the Long Dark and I enjoy it greatly, I actually haven't spent a whole lot of time with Interloper mode. Alright, so far no heavy hammer. That's a little discouraging because I'm pretty sure the first hut that we stepped into was where I found it the first time. So I'm a little discouraged right now, but we're going to keep going. I am grateful that there are no wolves. Already getting pretty cold again, but thankfully it still feels like just 18 degrees and we have 17 hours daylight left. So if this weather keeps up, we could actually have a pretty bountiful day here. More cattail stalks, perfect. Let's grab some. 1. Now I can be greedy. I can afford to be greedy. Oh, there's 5. 2. There's 6. 2. 3. There's a minimum of 6. 4. 5. There's 7. There's 8. I'm kidding. That's 6. That's 7. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we are officially good on food for a bit. I remember someone in the comments was like, "Cattail stalks, quickly!" And I was like, "I know, there's a bear." Alrighty then. All right, we're gonna go this way. We're not gonna go that way, but thankfully there are 4 other cabins standing here, so that gives us some other places to search for any kind of supplies. Again, hopefully we find the heavy hammer in one of these huts, because it seems like the huts are one of the locations where the hammer can spawn, and I would love to find the heavy hammer because it kind of enables me to continue in this series. Oh, look, there's more cattail stalks. There's 3 more. Holy crap. All right, now we're in business food-wise. I need to get back inside, and I do definitely need to pick up some stuff that'll let me have some additional wood so I can get water. Because that's my other issue, is that I'm kind of running low on water. But for now, I am loving... Oh, wait, what's this? Aha! I knew there was a corpse here! At risk for hypothermia. Okay, I've got to get inside. But I'm good on food. Oh my god, I'm so ecstatic right now after what happened in the last episode. Now that I've said that, we're gonna die. Oh, hello! Where did you come from? I am really glad you did not sneak up on me. And you almost did. Alright, so there's one wolf. Hang on. If there's one, there could be another. Holy crap, that was close. Alright, I'm gonna step over here. I'm going to go inside, but at the same time, I want to just make sure I'm not blatantly walking by any other cattail heads, which I am. I'm going to push it a little bit because I need as many of these as I can grab while I'm in one area. I need to maximize my time while this weather is so great, because this is life. This is food. This is my ability to survive and keep going with this another episode or 2. Because, let's be honest, that's all I'm going to last. I'm just kidding. I'm going to try to last longer. You guys know me. But as I was saying, you are witnessing me practice some of these interloper skills for the first time. Oh, cool. There's a corpse and a backpack. It's like Christmas and a birthday. Only a very sad Christmas and a very sad birthday. Alright, let's go inside. Oh, of course there's nothing. Oh, there never is. Okay. Oh, hey. There's a Summit soda. That's good. Let me go ahead and break down this crate. So it feels like 40 degrees in here. We're going to warm up, thankfully. Here's another crate. I'm hoping to find some other matches, or potentially even the best thing would be to find a fire striker. That would just make my life so happy. And they do, in fact, exist in Interloper mode. They are just, from what I am aware, they are very, very rare. So, okay. Now, I'm getting pretty hungry again. So, let me eat. Man, I've got plenty of calories. 1,300 calories to be exact in these. So I'm just gonna keep myself right around there. That's good. Let me drink some water. Again, definitely need to pivot in a bit and start looking for things other than cattail stalks. But having them for now and being able to fill up my hunger meter is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right, I need to keep moving. That warmed us up for a little bit. Also, I got a little bit of wood out of that deal without spending too much time grabbing all of it. All right, I do need to continue to investigate this shoreline as well, because there could be other cattail stalks without going too far out of my way. Hey, tomato soup, I'll take it. New chocolate bar, ragged driving gloves. Okay, I think I already have good gloves, right? Right? Yeah, of course I do, I have mittens. So what I can do with the ragged, actually, I've got this worn pair of work gloves that I can harvest as well. It'll give me cured leather. So let me go ahead and harvest those, because I think, do I still need to repair my shoes? If I still need to repair my shoes, yes, I do. That could be a tremendous help to me. Those have been low condition for the entire series. I'm also going to harvest these, get cured leather from those so we can repair my shoes twice. And then I'm going to keep looking for stuff. But first, let me just do this. I'm going to do it once, because I've got daylight right now. Oh, you kidding me? Repair. All right, failed. So if I fail this time, I'm going to lose the insufficient materials for repair. Okay, so we successfully repaired them that time, but only up to 42% condition. Oh, that's brutal. 20% condition for one repair. Alrighty then. That's harsh. Anything under the bed? No. Anything over the bed? No. All right, let's keep looking. All right, so we found some more food there. That's nice. In addition to the fact that we are probably going to find more cattail stalks before we leave this area. All right. The weather is starting to fog up a little bit. And unfortunately, there is a wolf near not only the final cabin we need to explore, but also the final fishing hut. Or there's a couple more fishing huts that we haven't explored yet, but one of the final fishing huts that we need to check for the heavy hammer. So, once again, the game is putting a wolf between me and my prize at the worst possible time. Sense of humor? Yes. Definitely. Alright. Requires hatchet to break down. Of course it does. So does the table. However, the chair I can break down with my hands. So I can't use the hacksaw to break down wood. Interesting. I thought you could, but apparently you can't. Alright, already checked under all that. Let me go ahead and step back outside. I have definitely got to get some wood and or sticks. Feels like 12 degrees. Feels like a lovely 12 degrees. I still haven't dropped some of my heavier stuff that I really honestly need to drop. Hopefully, see, this episode's been a little bit more relaxed for the most part. A few tense moments, but hopefully this is something to help slow your heart rates down, especially if you're watching this series in the backlog and you just watched the last one. Because I'm going to guess that most people probably jumped right into this one after watching the last one, if they had the opportunity. Did I just hear a wolf? I mean, I see a wolf right there, but I thought maybe I heard one. Okay, the wolf is actually wandering away from that last hut. So I'm going to try to sneak past at my own peril. Yep. All right. I do not see any more cattail stalks, unfortunately, and there's still a bear as well, so I'm going to need to be careful of that. But the bear is likely to wander away, especially if I hunker down here for the night. Oh, there's lots of sticks. Let me go ahead and grab these. Stick, 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 stick. All of these can be used to light a fire, which I can then use to get more water and make sure I don't die of thirst. Which is generally something I would like to avoid doing if at all possible. Hey, bear. Hey, listen, I'm going to go inside this cabin. You just stay right where you are, okay? Okay, great. Thanks. Appreciate your listening to me there. All right, well, on that note, we're at the 25-minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and cut this episode here. I'm going to look around this. Well, tell you what, let's go ahead and look around here so I don't keep you in suspense. Let's see if there's anything else in this final cabin. But so far, no luck on the heavy hammer in Mystery Lake, which is not reassuring. We're just going to try and keep up with, we're going to try and keep up with the, wait, Summit Soda. Another Summit Soda. Awesome. Let's go ahead and break down this crate. It only takes 15 minutes. Give us another reclaimed wood. But yeah, I'm going to cut this one here. And in the next one, we are going to make a genuine attempt. Let's break down this one too. To, you know, survive. And also see if we can find the heavy hammer in that nearby hut that we haven't quite investigated yet. I might actually peek my head out before it gets too dark if the bear has gone away. Because that hut is not far. I just need the bear and the wolf to be at a distance. So we'll see how that goes. But thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes in a survival, science fiction, and or simulation type of vibe air every day at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.